Hey guys, good evening. Hope you enjoyed my Jameer Top 32 match. If you haven't yet watched it, it is quite interesting and I hope it helps you with the team selection and gives you some good ideas about strategies. But in this video, we're going to review Balron Lune. So he's going to be released on Global this Wednesday, and he's going to be on for 1 week. So I know that people were hoping that all the Saints would have stayed for a couple of weeks, but unfortunately he's going to be on only for 1 week, and also he's not going to be added to the pool. So this is your only chance to get him with the rebate. So try to manage your advanced gems in the ideal way. So my suggestion is always to do 40 gems per day, and then on the last day, if you still don't have him and you really want him, then try to maximize the gems that you spend until you get him either through the pool or through the shards. Again, we need to keep in mind that Lune is not a saint for everyone, so it really depends where you play PvP at. So if you only play in Galactic Duel, Lune is a good saint to have, but he only has a spot in certain teams, and in many teams he's just not really going to appear. Probably the best team where he can be played is the Hades Repaired Clothes team, and later in the video we will just have a demonstration of how Lune works in that team. It's going to be in Sacred Duel, so the speeds are not going to be ideal, so the team order is not going to be what is really going to be in a Galactic Duel match, but it's going to show you how Lune really works. So having said that, let's go to the skills and what is the recommendation for the skills. So the first skill is one of the two most important skills for Lune, because so it is a basic attack first of all. It is a basic attack first of all, but very importantly, it does increase significantly the damage dealt by the burn debuff. So this is the same debuff that used to be provided by the fire team, so Flamebird Iki, Babel, and company. So Lune also provides these burn marks, and the first skill increases quite significantly the damage from the burn marks. So it's 60% at level 1, 80% at levels 2 and 3, and 100% at level 4, and 110% at level 5. So clearly there is a very significant difference between level 1 and level 4. So we're talking about an investment of 6 books to increase the damage by 2/3, so from 60 to 100%. So this is clearly very material, and the recommendation is to level the first skill to level 4. So again, if you're a well, you can easily spend 4 more books, but from level 4 to level 5 is only a 10% extra damage for an expense of 4 books. So it is not really necessary or recommended. So we will see that the damage provided by burn is quite important in the way that Lune works. So first skill recommended to 4. Even at 2 is still quite a significant increase, because we're talking about a 33% increase from 60 to 80%, so 1/3 more damage. So the second skill, Enlightenment, possibly the most characteristic skill. So what this does is it works in 2 ways. So in its normal state, it can be cast either on enemies. So, and when it's cast on enemies, it either removes a buff from the enemy, such as buffed damage or any other buff really, and also adds a stack of burn. Now, if the target is instead an ally, then it removes any control. So stun, restrict, nightmare, freeze, black eyes, sleep, and petrification. And not only that, so it also makes the character immune to the Grand Pope, another dimension, and then makes the character add burn stacks when attacking, and also increases the physical or cosmic damage. So it increases either the base crit or the cosmic damage multiplier. So the way the skill scales is also quite significant. So so from 1 to 2, for example, just looking at the cosmic damage, so every level, so 1 to 2, and then each subsequent level we increase by 5%, and similarly also the crit increases by 2 to 3% per level. So this is very significant because, for example, we will see that one of the best uses for Lune, for example, even in the Galactic Duel, is to pair him with the Hades Repair Clause team, and clearly giving such a significant cosmic damage multiplier buff to Hades or Mew can really make the game much easier, because of course more cosmic damage into Kanon's triangle, and so the combo can go even more smoothly. So after Lune is transformed, then this ability becomes a pure DPS ability. So what it does is it adds a stack of burn to a specific target, and then deals significant damage equal to 150% plus 50% per stack of burns on all enemies combined. So this is why, like, being able to provide a lot of burn stacks, for example, when Hades does his AoE from the Eclipse, really can add a lot of damage. It also refreshes all the burn stacks on the enemies and deals damage immediately. So again, considering the level of the first skill, this ability also can do very significant amount of damage. So the recommendation for this one, for a very base Lune, so minimum investment, is to 2. But getting this ability to 4 is really recommended. So that is a 25% cosmic damage multiplier. So the next level will be 4 books to improve by 5%. So that is a 20%, so 20% more cosmic damage multiplier. But again, it's not really recommended to spend 4 books for that. So that is the second ability. The third ability is then the Flames of Balron, which is effectively the transformation into his surplus version. So how this works is it has a zero cost, and after it's cast, Lune also gains one extra turn. So this ability is not really recommended to be raised unless you really plan to use him a lot. So the way what you gain by increasing this ability is that effectively the enemies under the reincarnation effect have a significant have an increasing chance to gain a stack of burn, but the reality is most of the time you will be using the reincarnation skill on your own team to either remove debuffs and controls, and also most importantly to provide a significant damage buff. So increasing the chance to gain a stack of burn on the enemies is significant, but not really that necessary. So the real reason to increase this ability will be for its defensive value, where effectively when Lune casts it, he gains a shield going from 30% at level 1 to 70% on max HP at level 5. So this can be quite significant, but again, it's not really that necessary. So it is for someone playing in Jameer qualifications and Jameer tournament is worth having to higher levels than 1, but is not really mandatory. So the final ability is then Necronomicon, and in essence what this does is it gives Lune immunity to control effects, with the exception of Exile, which is the one from Sea Dragon Kanon and later on from Garuda, and Restrict, which is the one from Andromeda Shun and also from Evil Saga. So what do we gain when increasing the level of this skill? We gain a higher chance to create a higher number of stacks of burn on the enemies when they cast a control effect. So this is effectively an ability against control teams. So at level 1, one single stack with a 50% chance, and then at level 3 it becomes 2 stacks with a 70% chance, and then at level 5 it becomes 3 stacks with a 100% chance. So it really depends what kind of teams you think you're going to face. The reality is that control teams had a significant problem when Thanatos was released, and this ability is decent. So adding like 3 stacks of burn to an enemy can be very good, but is not fundamental, and is only really valid against control teams. So do you need to raise it to more than 1? Well, probably not, unless in some time you expect with the Divine Cloth Yoga to see a massive resurgence of control teams. For example, the Freeze team. The reality is, I mean, it's really good against those teams. It's not exceptional against those teams, and against other teams is not particularly useful. So probably you can leave this at 1. So what does this mean then? That if you want to summon him and you plan to use him to some degree, for example, even in a Sacred Duel, the minimum recommendation is to have him at 2211 to activate the 8th sense. The recommended setup is 4411, so just 12 books, so it's not that expensive. For a whale, then we have 4551, which is 26 books, and of course a mega whale can get it to max, so you can spend the full 40 books, so congratulations if you're a mega whale. Now, in terms of Cosmos, it works very well with the Book of the Dead, because most of the time like your opponent will not really focus him, so focus will be somebody else in the team. Dragon Chant or Rosary, so ideally Dragon Chant, but Rosary can also work well. Spirit Print or Tenacity for Blue Cosmo, and Nether for the Blue Cosmo. So we will see. So why am I saying Nether and not, for example, Hummingbird? Well, simply because Nether is the strongest cosmic attack Cosmo, and the reality is Lune is not a character who in general needs to be very fast. So it does depend on the team, but in general it doesn't need to be that fast. So it needs to be able to effectively remove a debuff from his own team. So being ultra fast might not be that useful in many instances. So trying to have him, let's say, around the middle of the team can be very significant. Now, in terms of stats, then we see that lifesteal, cosmic damage, lifesteal and cosmic damage are the first place, and then cosmic attack percentage and then cosmic attack are the stats you should try to go for. Let's have a quick look at the 8th sense. So the 8th sense is Katak and Speed, and then HP and Status Res, which is interesting because he's immune except to Exile, which is not affected by Status Res, and Restrict. So this Status Res effectively only works against Andromeda Shun. And then we have Cosmic Attack and Reflect Damage, which is again an interesting choice for 8th sense. And finally we have the one which is common to all Saints, so HP, physical and cosmic damage resistances. In terms of links, we have Lune, Seiya B and Andromeda Shun, and then we have Lune, Kanon, Gemini Kanon, Underworld Shun and Hades. Let's have also a quick look at the stats. So he has very high defenses, so it says S and A, but the reality is that 537 is effectively S level. Is also quite fast, so 326 base, so that's really quite fast. Very decent cosmic attack, and also very decent HP, so he has some very good stats. So having said all that, let's have a quick look at how Lune plays in a Sacred Duel. Again, keep in mind this is a Sacred Duel match, which means that unfortunately the team composition in terms of the speeds is not ideal. So this is not exactly how this team with Lune is meant to work, but we can give an idea of what kind of potential Lune has in terms of damage. So I hope this will be a decent match. Um, you've seen that it took quite a while to find a match, and this is because it's quite late at night in Seiya, but also because Seiya is almost dying as a server. Is really not in a good shape, unfortunately. I am on S35, and yeah, it's really not good what's happening in Seiya. So let's have a look. So we see is a Hades repair cloth. So the 4 base Hades, Dragon Kanon, Underworld Shun and Mew. And then we're playing with Gold Yoga and Lune here. So what we do here, we give the Cygnus Cross to Hades. And then we do a basic attack with Kanon. Activate the Eclipse. So here we effectively give the reincarnation debuff to Hades. So let's do that. So you see, like, this is the sign of the buff. And then let's do this. So we evolve Mew here. So again, we're on Hades. And then we just take out Mu to avoid any problems later. Let's just mark again Milo. Okay, let's see. Just want to show the damage. So this transforms him. Let's do that. So you see he gained the shield. So important to note, this shield can be countered by the Ophiuchus 4th skill. So let's have a look at the damage. So let's see. So you see not much, but there is now 1 stack on Milo and 3 stacks on Jamian. So basic attack there. And then we just attack to feed the triangle from Kanon. So again on Hades, and then you see Mu has low HP, and we cannot see the Cosmo, but he wouldn't have the Dragon Tooth, so we get him again. So now Hades releases the AoE, and look what happens, because he is been buffed by Lune. He gave burn stacks to the entire enemy team. So then let's see what happens when using again a skill. So he still has the buff. So you see he gave again 1 more stack. So I don't think we'll be able to see a lot here, so it doesn't show that much damage, but by using Lune's skill now, he would have done quite a high damage. So he's definitely very significant because of removing controls on your team and significantly buffing the damage of the team. So that was all I had for today. So again, if you play in Galactic Duel, but you're not really you do not push too hard, probably Lune is a character that you can skip and try to reinforce your main team. If you already have the Hades Repair Cloth, and in any case you want to have some fun, Lune can definitely be very fun to play with the Hades Repair Cloth team, and can be very fun to play against the Freeze team and other control teams, of course. So I wish you all the best and good luck to summon him. Again, if you have any questions on Lune, please write it in the comments, and I'll try to answer it as soon as I can. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and please do subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to provide more content like this.